right, what's going on, everybody? This is the, I guess, first official interview with Cur Dog Chronicles. I got my buddy John England here. He's my buddy that hunts with me a lot. He's been kind of, well, he's really been supporting me on this. He's a good guy, and I really wanted to sit down with him and kind of pick his brain a little bit on his first interview. My one interview with Pete is getting a little delayed. That's going to be really good. If I get it back, I'm not sure, but Pete goes real big into genetics and all that stuff. But I wanted to talk to John, let y'all know who John is, you know, who I hunt with and stuff like that. But anyways, so I just wanted to introduce John to y'all. John, I've known John. How long have we known each other?
Like 4 years.
Oh, by the way, we got a couple special guests on the first episode here. We got Bibi is my catch dog. She's an Argentinian Mastiff. I think she likes John more than she likes me. We got my little puppy here. She's about, what, 9 weeks old? Something like that. And then we got Pony here. So I was taking her for a spin, so she just wanted to hang out with us. But anyways, we've known each other for what, about 4 years?
Yeah, give or take.
Been kind of hunting with each other religiously for about, you know, that whole time. The thing that I like about John so much when it comes to hunting is John and I have a lot of similar qualities. We learn from the old school guys. But we also know kind of the new school way. So you started hunting when you were
8, 9, 10 years old.
And you guys,
Give or take.
and you guys, you know, you guys kind of the whole like no tracking gear.
No cut collars, no cut vests, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just go to the bar.
Yeah.
Just go to the bar.
So the old school way, a lot of these guys. That's why I'm gonna have a lot of other old school guys in there. No tracking collars, no vest, none of that stuff. That's all new stuff. So we learned a lot from the old school guys, but we also are kind of new in tune. Nowadays, you can't even hunt without the tracking collars, man. It's too hard. There's too many property lines. You got to know your boundaries and stuff like that. So he's had to adjust just as much as I've had to adjust. Yeah, like I said, BB likes him more than me. So, heck, when was it when you started really getting into the tracking collar stuff?
When I started hunting with you.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't even really know what track collars were until I started hunting with you, really.
Yeah,
I
think I remember you seeing that track collar.
Like T5s, y'all was talking about Astro 320s, Astro 340s.
Yeah, but look at you now, man.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, you're a professional. But anyway, so John had to adapt. I've had to adapt. We've all had to adapt. I think a lot of the old school guys are learning to adapt now. It's tough, but you have to. You know, it's an evolving game. So, but John and I, we kind of have the same outlook on dogs. When John first started hunting with me, he always kind of wanted me to bring the older dogs. Okay. Now everybody hunts different. Okay. Our buddy could hunt pit bulls and bird dogs, and I like yellow dogs. This person likes Catahoulas. They like putting the dog in the woods at 6 months old. Some people like doing it at a year old. I mean, you guys used to probably put them in what, about like 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months, 8 months, give or take.
So everybody's different. But so what John and I have really come to is that we both agree on, you know, you show a puppy a pig when they're younger. I don't know, between 4 and 6 months old, and then when they get to that size where you feel like they can hang with some of the older dogs, then you kind of start putting them in the woods. Some people, like I said, do it different, but that's how I do it. The best way for them dogs to learn is to go with the older dogs, but they have to be ready. Some guys, like I said, don't even put them in the woods for a year, but that's just how it goes. But so my way of when we go hunting, every time I go, I don't care where I go, I bring at least 1 or 2 older dogs, and then I bring some young dogs. If you don't bring them, you're never going to make them. You can't make a dog unless you take them. It took John a while to really realize he knows the game of it, but you just wanted to really catch all, you know what I mean?
Not
but now,
necessarily, but
no, it's not that, but like you just
dealing with the trials and tribulations
Yeah,
of bringing a puppy is what.
it's tough. You know what I mean? It really is tough, and you just
Patience.
You got to work through it. So my view on it is, if you don't bring them, you can't make them. So that's kind of what I do. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? You can't make a dog if you don't take them. So anyway, So BB is an Argentinian Mastiff. BB is our catch dog. So whenever we go in, BB is the dog that once the bay dogs have it stopped, BB's the one that catches it. As you can see, her demeanor is great. You can bring kids around her. She's a very, very, very good dog. She's awesome. I mean, she handles good on a leash. You know and that's a lot of work. You know that taking her from a, you know, I didn't get BB as a baby. My buddy Ricky actually gave her to me about a year ago. Everything else in my kennel I raised, but she's the only dog I didn't raise, and I don't regret it at all getting her. So this is where it comes where Jon and I, we agree on a lot of things too. So
she's exceeded the expectations.
yes,
entirely.
So, exactly. So I mean, we love it, man. Just watching her work, you know, watching her catch hogs she hits it like a freight train, man. They're bred in Argentina to hunt wild boar and mountain lion, or puma, I think they call them over there. So, but like I said, I think she likes Jon more than me. But that's kind of like a couple topics, like I said, I want to talk about. Just really ways of training dogs. Like Jon and I, like I said, we kind of go at it a little bit sometimes because he wants me to bring a certain dog, and I'm like, no, man, you know how it is. We got to work through it. But now he sees the bigger picture, and it took me a while to really see the bigger picture too. You know, it's all about catching hogs. I mean, everybody wants to catch a big boy, but sometimes if you kind of take a step back and you look at, you got to take the little victories, like, oh, that puppy went on 1,000 yards and she's only 6 months old, or that puppy's almost a year old and she bayed 3 hogs in one night. I will take those victories over catching big hogs any day. Yes, I like to catch big boar hogs, don't get me wrong, but to me, making the dogs is what it's all about. You can just catching a hog in general with a puppy is it's one of the best feelings in the world, you know. So Jon's really kind of on board with me on that, about, you know, bringing these younger dogs and getting them in the woods and making them. I mean, half the time we only hunt with younger dogs.
Watching
you know?
them work is
it's
satisfying.
Exactly. So something else that I really want to talk about, and he can contest to this, is our world
is slowly getting smaller.
In the hunting world, depends on the style of hunting. If you're like a tree stand hunter, a blind hunter, or you like to trap, you're going to be probably pretty good. But our world as dog hunters is kind of dwindling every single day. As growing up, I mean, you've seen properties that were cattle pastures and woods.
And now they're development.
Yeah, they're the houses.
People living in it.
You know, Central Florida is always supposed to be untouchable, but not anymore. It's even Central Florida is getting kind of attacked, you know. So watching these places get developed kind of sucks, and that takes away from our way of life, you know, raising these dogs. And eventually, pretty soon, hog hunting with dogs down here in the state of Florida is going to be obsolete, unless you're on a big lease or you own land, you know.
Pay to hunt.
Yeah, you gotta, you know what I'm saying.
Pay to hunt.
So it sucks, but we just try to catch as many hogs and raise as many dogs as we can as possible until that time comes. People don't realize, what do you think? Is it like 1,000 plus people move to Florida every year?
That's more than that.
Or is it a day? What
It's
is
more,
it?
it's more than that.
Sorry, I meant a day. What do you think it is a year, bro?
I don't know. It's too many. No offense to the
people moving down.
But
I mean,
there's a lot of people coming here.
And it sucks because that means more
and that
people.
just makes Florida build more and
more
more
people
to
that
occupy.
come down, the more land gets developed and more land gets taken away from hog hunting with dogs. I mean, this is a tradition. This is a pastime. This is a way of life. This is what we live every day, every weekend, you name it. This is what we live for. We live to make these dogs and watch them work and all that. I mean, we love it. So
Dogs weren't bred to be house dogs.
no, I mean, you know, yeah, like when you retire a hunting dog or whatever, you want to make them a house dog, that's great. But I mean, these are working dogs. This is a working dog. I don't care how docile she is. She's a working dog. So, but I want to bring Jon on board for just a little quick interview. It's kind of like raw footage here. We're not doing any editing. This is going to be straight from the head and from the heart to the head to the mouth. You know, so like I said, Jon's been with me for a while, and he's a very big supporter of mine, and he's always been representing, and you know, we try to go as much as we can. So just stay tuned. We got more interviews coming. Just watch the videos, And now you know, if you see this guy on the video, you know who he is, kind of what he's about, and what we got going on. So stay tuned.
Together power.
Yes, sir.